Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyid al-Mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'du fa'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajeem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa yamkuruna wa yamkurullah. Wallahu khairul makirin. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خير الناس من ينفع الناس أو كما قال صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم دائما أبدا أبدا على حبيبك خير خلقه محمد وآله وأصحابه وأهل بيته وعترته وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. Respected brothers and sisters and my dearest children and all the community members who are joining us from different parts of the world, I would like to welcome everyone to the 40th lesson in our weekly Seerah Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam series. And Alhamdulillah, in the last lesson we have seen that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is in his 12th year of Nabuwa, and one of the important milestone, if you like, in the history of Islam took place. That is actually the Bayt-e-Aqaba, the agreement or treaty which was in Aqaba in Mina. So Alhamdulillah, that is a very important historical milestone in the history of our Islam. And we heard how Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is now realizing that where he least expected this help and support, he is going to get the help and support from that side. He was targeting the big tribes and major tribes and trying to convince them that they should provide the protection and give him the political asylum so that he can freely work and make the effort for Islam. But he found in the 10th year of the Nabuwa, he found this small group of 6 people who had come from Yasrib, and they belong to the this tribe of Khazraj. The two big tribe, as we learned, which existed in Medina, or what it was called before. It was named Medina, Yasrib. And these two tribes actually, in the background, we learned that they were actually from Yemen. Maybe 300-400 years ago, they actually migrated and settled down in this place. And this is all sort of Allah Ta'ala is doing everything, planning everything for Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And they come for Hajj, and these 6 people, they are affected by the Quran and by listening to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And one of the important member of that is the Asad ibn Zurara, who actually became the foundation layer, if you like. Asad ibn Zurara, whose family name is actually Abu Umama. He was one of the 6 who accepted Islam, who were very much, and they went back. And then the next year they brought another 12, 13 more people, and they made an agreement, but that was just a minor agreement at that time. And the major agreement happened on the 12th year, and this is right on the last days of the Hajj, you know, around the 12th or the 13th of Zilhijjah, 12th night of Zilhijjah, if you like. 13th is the day where all the Hujjaj, they leave Mina after completing all the arkan of the Hajj. So on the 12th night, when we learned the leader of Khazraj, they came to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they requested him that we have almost more than 70 people who and of course, just to remind you that after these 12 people in the 11th year, they requested a person who could go with them to teach them Islam, and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam granted them Hazrat Musab bin Umair radiallahu ta'ala. This and I gave the details of Musab bin Umair, that he belonged to a very rich family, but he had thrown away everything for the sake of Islam, and he went and he made the effort in Medina Munawwara, and as a result, in this before the 12th year, before the Hajj, in the 12th year of Nabuwa, they already started the Juma. In fact, the first Juma which started it was in Yasrib, and then they brought more than 70, around 70, 75 people. They came. And in this group, there were 73 men and 2 women also in this group. And then they went to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and they requested that we are all keen to meet you. And they had already decided that they want to take Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam back with them, because they have heard and seen how he was being mistreated in Makkah by his own people, right? So they had made the plan and they had agreed. And when Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam now he came, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came with Abbas, who was not Muslim, his uncle who was not Muslim at that time, and of course Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala and Hazrat Ali, who were already Muslims. They were stationed in 2 different spots to keep a watch, to make sure that our meeting here, no one knows about it, right? So they were making sure that they were guarding, in fact, if you like, or they were being the security officers who were looking around, making sure that only the people who have come from Yasrib, they are in this important meeting or the agreement which is about to take place. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam spoke, and they also requested Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that we would like to take you with us. And Abbas, who was not Muslim at that time, however, he was concerned about his nephew, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he said that, look, I know most of your elders, but unfortunately all the elders were not there, because if you remember, they had a battle, and in this battle they lost most of their senior people. So now only the youngsters were left, and these youngsters of the Aus and Khazraj, they were fed up of these wars and fights and bloodshed, and they had already decided that enough is enough. We have to now try and find another ways of and uniting ourselves, rather than having this long from generations fighting each other. So they had already decided, and so um, they came, and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam put in front of them the Quran and the Islamic teachings. And at that time, as I mentioned, it was just the basics, the only main command of Allah Ta'ala was the salat, the 5 times salat. Apart from that, most of the basic rules of Islam, if you look at them even now, you will find that they are actually targeting the benefits of the humanity. Right? Khairun nas, mayyan faun nas. This is the crux of Islam, that the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in this hadith said that the best among you is one who is trying to benefit others, who's trying to look for the benefits for the community, for the humanity, and uh, and all the things where they were doing. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in this agreement took the bath, or the made the agreement, and all the men, in fact, shook hand with Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that we agree and we are going to abide by this, that we will not create partners with Allah Ta'ala, we will not commit zina, we will not commit stealing, we will not murder and kill people, and we will not bury our daughters alive, and all these different evil diseases which were found in the Arabs in those days. Uh, they made a promise, right? So this treaty was a milestone. It was important. They promised that they are going to, and they requested Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that we want to take you with us, and we are going to protect you in the same way as we protect our own selves. Uh, Hazrat Abbas, who was not Muslim at that time, he was concerned about his nephew, that these youngsters are making the promises. There is no elderly people among them. He was concerned that they will not live up to the agreement they are making. But Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he spoke out and he said, I'm ready to go with you. Right? And uh, and then the Ansar, well, they would become the Ansar, in fact. They One of them, they asked that, what happens once everything is okay? You get everything you want, then are you going to go back to your family again, the Makkans, and your Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Muttalib, you'll go back to your own tribe? Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave them the big decision at that time, that no, I'm going to live with you and I'm going to die with you. So this was a major source of happiness for the people of Yathrib who had come, and they, with these, this treaty is actually taking place in the middle of the night, right on the 12th of Dhul Hijjah, and but somehow or other, the mushrikeen of Makkah, they found out. Somehow it leaked, and right before the meeting was ending, they started hearing drums being beaten, and huge noises coming. And this only happened when there was some sort of emergency. And then an announcement was made that, and this was a warning to the mushrikeen. They were giving to their own people that, look, we have heard and we have found that some people have joined with the Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they are going to provide support and help to them. So this anyway, when they heard all this, the meeting was quickly finished, and all the people of Aus and Khazraj, they went back to their own tents. Everyone went back, but the mushrikeen, the disbelievers, Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, they sent their people to every tent and every camp in Mina at that point, to find out who has provided this support. And of course, the tent of Aus and Khazraj, it was mixed. There were Muslims in there, only few Muslims, like the 70, but the rest of them were all non-Muslims. So when they came to the tent of the Muslims, uh, they asked, who has provided the support. So the Muslims decided to keep silent, right? And the non-Muslims in the tent, they spoke out and they said, "Look, we don't know anything about this. We have not provided any support. We swear by our God." Right? So they gave, and the Muslims, because they remained silent, they were saved and protected. So anyway, after this, they all went back. Now they went back to Yasrib, and on one side, now the Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, they decided to call an emergency meeting in Mecca, and they had already a spot or a place where they used to do their important meetings. Like every country has their parliament house or whatever. In Mecca, near the Kaaba, they had this one spot. They used to call it the Darul Nadwa, and they all, Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, gave the order that we want all the tribe leaders to gather together, and we are going to have an emergency meeting to because we know that something is fishy here, something's going on, and we need to start planning, right? So they called, and they put guards that to stop anyone from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's tribe, like the Banu Muttalib and Banu Hashim, anyone, and Banu Abdul Manaf, all these tribes which were connected with Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they said, don't allow any one of them to come, because this is a secret meeting we want to have. So they invited everyone, and it's mentioned, Ibn Hisham has mentioned in the Seerah Nabi series, the book, that one of them was an elderly person who was from the which didn't belong to the Quraysh, but he was there, and he also came and joined. He was very elderly and experienced person. So Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab decided to allow him, and now they started having the meeting, and they said, "Look, we've already heard that they are planning, and so what we are supposed to do with this Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We need to take some action immediately, because if he gets this support, then we are doomed, because they now the Islam and whatever he's preaching is going to increase. So what shall we do? Give your suggestion and opinion." And so different opinions started coming. One of them was that, look, the best thing would be to expel him from the city, Makkah, right? So Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab said, I mean, that's a foolish suggestion, because if we expel him, that's what he wants. If we throw him out of our city, then he will just end up with those people who are going to support him, and then so that's not a good suggestion. Someone said, "Why don't we jail him, put him in a prison?" Right? So this suggestion came, but then this elderly person, he said, "Look, if you put him in prison and jail, Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Manaf, and they have a very strong tribe. And do you think that if you jail one of their person, even though he doesn't belong to their religion, are they going to sit quietly and accept this? No, they're going to attack. So that's not a good idea also." And then now Abu Jahl, he said, "Look, just be quiet. I have a suggestion." And he said that the best thing would be, why don't we finish him off and just kill him? That way, this will be a solution to all the problems. जैसे उर्दू में कहते हैं ना, न रहे बांस न बजेगी बांसुरी, right? So you know, they just finish him off, and the way we should do it so that the blame doesn't come to just one tribe. So what we should do, he suggested that we have almost so many tribes and more than 60 houses. So my suggestion is that we should select one youngster or one member from every family, that will be more than 60, and we should all together attack him or surround his house and then attack him. So this suggestion was accepted by everyone. Even this elderly person, he gave the okay. He said this is a very good idea, because if they come and for revenge, who are they going to? Because it's not one person who has attacked. It is all 60 together. They are going to. So they decided on this. So this meeting is taking place in Makkah. But meanwhile, Allah Ta'ala is making other plan. That's why Allah Ta'ala in the Quran is saying, وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They made the plans and Allah made the plans also. And of course, the plan of Allah Ta'ala always prevail. Always comes at the. So now the other side, they go back. Asad ibn Zurara, he takes Musab bin Umair again back. These 70 plus people, they go back to Yasrib again, and now they start making effort and planning how we have to try and meet the conditions which we have made the promise and agreement with Rasulullah. But they had the two big obstacles, as I mentioned last time, that they were the two main tribe leaders within the Aus and Khazraj, and this was a tribe called Banu Ashhal, and the two tribe leaders of Banu Ashhal, they were Saad ibn Muaz and Usaid ibn Hudayr, right? These two people, right? And I mentioned those. So they both got together, and Saad ibn Muaz actually was the cousin of Usaid ibn Hudayr, who is Asad ibn Zurara. In fact, Asad ibn Zurara, who is actually hosting Musab bin Umair radiallahu anhu. And in fact, the house where he was hosting him, it actually belonged to Saad. So Saad was very furious and angry that my cousin is actually keeping this person who we don't agree with, and he is actually preaching something which is totally against the ways of our forefathers, and using my house. So they both came with the intention of doing something about solving this issue, right? So Saad ibn Muaz, now he's speaking to his colleague Usaid bin Hudayr, and he says that, look, we have to do something about this. We have to stop this person. And Asad actually is my cousin, so I don't want to go in and harass him first. I want you to go and just threaten them, and if they make too much noise, then just finish them off, and that will be the best way, so that the blame doesn't come that, and the tribes people don't say that the cousin killed the other one. So he sent Usaid ibn Hudayr first of all to go, and we learned in the last lesson that Usaid bin Hudayr, when he came and he started threatening them, Musab bin Umair radiallahu ta'ala, very confidently and very calm and cool, in a very soft voice. He said, okay, you can do whatever you want, but first listen to me. Listen to what I have to say. And when he read the Quran and started saying, and gave him the teaching, very brief teaching of Islam, it was enough for him. And he completely was mesmerized, and he converted to Islam. And he accepted Islam there and then. You see, this is the beauty of Islam and the attraction which Allah Ta'ala has kept in it. So um, now he suggests to them, because once he has now sees the beauty of Islam, now he's saying, Usaid bin Hudar, that look, the my colleague which was waiting outside, he's also the leader. In fact, he's the tribe leader. If you can somehow convince him, then you will have no problem in Yasrib, to make your effort for Islam. So Musab bin Umair radiallahu ta'ala, and he says, okay, you send him. Uh, and so Musab, he goes out, right? Usaid bin Hudayr, he goes out, and when Saad ibn Muaz, he sees him, you know, he looks at him and he says something is different about him. He is different. He comes back and he says, look, uh, I went and talked to them, and I couldn't find anything wrong in them. You know, and plus, however, I have learned that some people are spreading the rumors that some people from other tribes are coming to kill your cousin, you know, Asad ibn Zurara, and if that happens, this will be very bad for you, in fact. So it is better that you should go inside and try and sort this problem out before the other people come and they attack. So he tried to excite him to go inside because somehow he wanted him to go inside. And so Saad ibn Muaz was very excited. He said, okay, I'm going to, and he prepared his weapons, and he went inside with the intention that I'm going to just finish everything off here and solve the problem. And he goes inside, and he started shouting, and he says, look, you are spreading, you are brainwashing our people, and I have come to finish this off. So now again, Musab bin Umair radiallahu ta'ala, he is very calm and cool. And this is as I mentioned, the beauty that a Muslim who has Iman and the strength of Iman always remains cool and calm. Don't get, if you like, reactive. A Muslim is always proactive. You have to be proactive, not reactive. That you react to the situation and then become aggressive and start becoming angry and so on. Then you end up losing yourself. And this is the ulama have written, that once the iman goes inside and it penetrates into the heart, right? كذلك الإيمان إذا خالطت بشاشته القلوب. When the reality and nur of the light of iman goes inside, then this is what happens. That a person gains confidence. A person has total reliance and tawakkul on Allah Ta'ala. So a person is coming here and threatening them and you can see he's loaded with weapons and swords, and he is about to attack them. And there again, Musab bin Umair radiallahu ta'ala, he very calmly and in a very soft and sweet voice, he says to Saad ibn Muaz, look, just listen to what I have to say. You are a tribe leader, and then if you don't like it, then we will do what you want. So he's very confident, right? He's just given him the option that we are ready to do what you want, but first listen to us, right? What we have to say. And he said, this is fair enough. And so he sits down, and now again, Musab bin Umair radiallahu ta'ala, and he starts reading the Qudrat of Allah Ta'ala in Surah Zukhruf and the Quran. And when he hears this Quran, you know, it's of course it's something out of this world, and and he immediately accepts it, right? And he says, "What do I have to do?" Same question as the his partner had just done, you know. So he said, "What do I?" Usaid, "What do I have to do?" Like Usaid bin Hudayr said. He said, "Well, very simple. You know, you just accept the Shahada, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu annaka Muhammad Rasulullah, and then you take a shower and remove all the impurity from your body, najasa, and then perform 2 rakat salah. That's it." So he also changes. Now this is a major success, because now these two main tribe leaders in the Khazraj tribe of Ashhal, Banu Ashhal, so they have now accepted Islam. That means now all the people of the tribes within Medina. So, and within this year now, the Islam starts spreading in Yathrib. Of course, it's not yet Medina Munawwara, but it is going to become like that. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is now um, he gave he's obviously waiting for the order of Allah Ta'ala to come from Allah, that he is ready to migrate, uh, and Allah Ta'ala gives the order, and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam announces through the people that all of you can now migrate. And in fact, one of the people now start, one or two, and secretly migrating, because they don't want to do it in the open because of the harshness and the attacks of the mushrikeen, because they're going to create obstacles. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gives them the option. And one of the first people, in fact, which is written, Ibn Hisham has written that one of the first people who decided to migrate was Abu Salama. Abu Salama, he's the one who is actually married to Salama, and their son is Salma. So the and Salma, of course, is Ummahatul Mu'minin. She's eventually, once he passes away later on, as we find in the history, that she is going to become the wife of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the end, right? So, but so he decided, and there is a very strange and story about his migration, which is, when we hear about it, it makes us shiver. In fact, the way what happened to his family as they were about to start the migration, and of course Abu Salama and Salama, they both first of all migrated to Habsha, Abyssinia, when Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam opened the door for Abyssinia, so they went there. But then, when because of the rumor which spread that the Meccans have accepted Islam, which was just a rumor, they came back, and then they decided to stay. They didn't go back again to Abyssinia. So now they are here, and now they decided to leave. And of course, in the background of Abu Salma is actually not part of the Quraysh tribe, although he is one of those people who was from outside, and in order to marry, he made the hijrah. He migrated to the Quraysh tribe because of Salama, and but he was an outsider. That's why when he accepted Islam initially, they started becoming very cruel with him, and this, which led to him migrating to Abyssinia initially. So now he decides to go, and Abu Salma, he prepares himself, and he so his wife and him and the son, right? So now, as they are about to migrate, their tribe people, they find out that they are leaving. So they immediately come, and the tribes of Salama, they come and take her by force, and says to Abu Salama, "You cannot take a member of our tribe, although she is the wife of Abu Salama, but they, because of their, this uh, being enemy of Islam, they actually they come and they say you can't take her. She's part of our tribe." And so the son and the mother, they snatch from the Abu Salma, and Abu Salma unfortunately ends up leaving alone. He has no option, right? And so he goes, and now they take the Salama and the son back. When the tribe of Abu Salama, or the family of Abu Salama, finds out that this has happened and the son didn't go with them, so they came to Salama's tribe and they said, "Look, uh, the the mother belongs to you. We don't care about that, but the son, it belongs to us, right?" And because he is the son of Abu Salma, so we are going to take the son with us. So they snatch, and this, in fact, there is a tug of war going on. Uh, this is a 2-year-old baby, and helpless child, and some tribe people are pulling from this side, and some people are pulling. Literally, this is what's happening, right? Because of their evil ways and ignorance and jahiliya, the life that they were used to live, like worse than animals. So they're pulling, and in this process, in fact, it is written that one of the arm of this baby was dislocated. Right. So when the mother saw this happening, the mother cried out and she said, "Look, let them take my son. This is my son. I'm allowing it. I'm allowing it." So she wanted to obviously save the life of the son, and so they took the son. So now this family, because of Islam, what has happened? Father has gone, mother is on one side, and the 2-year-old child, they are all three of them are separated. This is the sort of sacrifices which they gave for the sake of Islam. And but so this is, and then later on, of course, you can imagine the love a mother has for the child, and she is. We cannot imagine what she's going through. On one side she's lost her husband, and the other side, uh, she's lost her son, baby, and all because of this silly ego and tribal pride, and so on. And these are their own, the own tribe people of Salama, who are causing this to happen. And she would go out and to the mountains every day, and cry. And one of the elderly people of the tribe, one of the ladies, when she saw this, it, I think months and went by, and when one of the lady took pity on her, and they suggested to the tribe leaders that, "Look, why are you punishing your own tribe member? Why have you separated her from her husband and the son?" Took pity on. And so after these long time, the tribe leader gave her permission, and so she went and took the son, and now she's all alone. But she was brave, and she decided to now migrate. And she started leaving alone, without any transport. She didn't have even a camel or anything. And so she left and she started walking. And as she went outside the outskirts of the city, Makkah, uh, one of the other person who, in fact, Usman ibn Talha, he actually became Muslim later on, long after, in fact. But he was not a Muslim at the time. But when he saw, a woman with a small son walking alone in such situations where there's always robbers and thieves are attacking, and so he came to her and he said, "What is this? Where are you going? What is it?" So she gave the story. So he said, "Okay, just wait." And he actually helped her. Obviously, he doesn't know that this lady later on is going to become the Ummahatul Mu'minin, the wife of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But Allah has planned that. But he decided to help her. And Salama, she actually narrates her story, this tragic story of her, and then how this support came to him. She said that, in the entire world, I cannot find a most noble person than Usman ibn Talha, who actually brought his camel, and he used to observe all the shyness and everything, so that uh, she she's well protected from all evil. And he would just bring the camel and bring it down, and I used to just sit on the camel, and then he would pull the camel, you know and he did this entire journey from Makkah all the way up to Yasrib, which is almost 15-20 days journey, in those days. So he actually did this. And during the entire journey, when she needed to come down, he would bring the camel down, and then he would go on the side, observing the full protocol for being a good Muslim. Well, although he was not a Muslim, a good gentleman, if you like. And he would respect this lady in such a way, and he brought her. So these are some of the stories of the early migrations. There are many others. um, and inshallah, we now run out of time, inshallah. So we can, inshallah, start. uh, and then Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also uh, uh, has been given a sign from Allah Ta'ala, and he comes and announces that, I have, although Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam initially wasn't told that he has to migrate to Yasrib, but Allah Ta'ala informed him that, and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came and informed the people that I have been informed that I'm going to migrate to a land which is full of palm trees, and it's between two volcanic plains. And Yasrib, in fact, is, if you look from if you ever travel by plane during the daytime, you can see still the remains of these volcanic eruptions, which probably happened thousands of years ago, maybe. And the remains are there, the rocks all over all around surrounding the Yasrib, Madinah Munawwara. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was given the sign, and then Allah Ta'ala, he was waiting for the order of Allah Ta'ala to migrate, and finally Allah Ta'ala gave the order. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in fact, before that order came, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, who he wanted to migrate. He had already prepared his camel, and he wanted to migrate. He came to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to seek permission for him to go. But Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to him that, no, just wait. I'm waiting for the order of Allah Ta'ala. And so you just wait. So he kept him. and then what happens next. Inshallah, we will cover that. And this is the big moment where Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is going to plan for the migration, and how he will make the hijrah. And this is incidentally the 12th year of Nabuwa, right? So 12th year of Nabuwa is almost complete, and in fact they have already uh, past the probably Safar, the month of Safar. Muharram is gone. Safar is, so 2 3 months have already gone, and it's around this time, and this is where our calendar will also, Islamic calendar will start also. Inshallah, we will cover that in the next lesson. May Allah Ta'ala give us the ability, inshallah, to follow the sunnah way of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is the month of Rajab. We should try and respect the month. It is one of the holy months of in Islam. Allah Ta'ala has declared that in the Quran. As we know, it's one of the 4 months which Allah has declared in the Quran to be holy, and it is actually Allah has given it to us to prepare for the Ramadan which is coming ahead of us. So may Allah Ta'ala give us the ability to follow the footsteps of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Jazakallah.